Welcome back. In this installment, we're going to look at congruent triangles and what the corresponding parts are. And we've got, corresponding parts like we looked at with the angles. They're going to be congruent. If the triangles are congruent, then the corresponding parts would be congruent. Well, first, let's figure out what transformation or transformations would map PQR, this triangle, onto that triangle. Well, I've used some parchment paper to outline PQR and labeled it. Here we've got our right angle. Now, if this was just a translation, we would be able to slide it one way or the other and it would overlap. It does not overlap very nicely with that one. So possibly we have a rotation. Well, our right angle's over here, so this angle's going to have to turn to match that one. So if we rotate this so that our right angles align, does that correspond? Well, they don't line up very nicely. So if this is a congruent triangle at all, then it's going to have to be some kind of a reflection. So let's reflect this over, flip it, and line up those right angles. That looks like those line up nicely. All right, now let's go ahead and label those. So we started out with triangle PQR, and we want to name this one in the same order so that its corresponding parts, corresponding corners line up. So we started with P. So let's see, P corresponds with S. Q corresponds with T. And R corresponds with U. So PQR is congruent to STU. You can name the first triangle any way you like, any order, but the second triangle has to be named in the same order that the first one was, so that as you work your way around, the corresponding parts line up. The way we looked at this in class was you can kind of tell from this that that side will be longer than this one. So when we go PQR, let's see, 37. So this is going to be the bigger angle because these two are complementary. They have to add up to 90. So this is going to be the the medium angle, right angle, small angle. So we would have to name it from the medium angle, right angle, small angle. So medium right small, PQR, medium right small, STU. Once we have it labeled that way, every set of congruency can be pulled from this. So angle P is going to be congruent to angle S, angle Q to angle T, angle R to angle U. Those are going to be corresponding to one another. Same with the sides. So side PQ, and when you write these, be sure that you include the symbols, because if you just write PQ, that represents the distance between them, and the length of PQ is 3. So PQ is equal to 3, but we want to talk about the segment PQ, and PQ is the first and second letters, so ST would be the first and second letters of the corresponding triangle. The rule for this, the theorem, we call it shorthand is CPCTC, corresponding parts